So I should probably explain this video a little better. This video we are focusing on the side of Skyrim generally forgotten about by people, and that just happens to be werewolves. And today we will be turning them into the true menace of Skyrim that they should have always been. Make sure you hit that like button down below if you happen to enjoy this video, and let's dive right in because I kinda want to keep this short and sweet. To start this off, I guess we're gonna start with pretty much maybe the most important mod because kinda, let's be honest, werewolves are weak in the base game. So weak that in fact after turning level 20 it's pretty much a hassle to even ever turn into it. So the mod you're gonna want just so you can change all of that is Growl by NI. And that is my own personal opinion. You could also try Moonlight Tales, which hasn't updated since 2016. It's almost been 10 years now that I think about it. But I don't recommend that. But if you have to have an alternative because you don't like Growl, I recommend Werebeasts by Simon. Growl is a lightweight werewolf and Werewolf Overhaul because, of course, yes, you can actually use this to become a werebear, but not many people actually do that, but it's there for the people that want it. This mod not only greatly empowers werewolves so they will be usable at all levels of your playthrough rather than just level 10, it gives every race their own unique benefit to being a werewolf. This mod features so many features in such a small script that is less than 1 megabyte, like you can literally loot in werewolf form, which you can't do in certain other mods that I won't name. And also this can be installed mid-game, so if you don't have it already, now you can get it. This is pretty much the bare minimum if you ever want to make werewolves playable at all in your game. This mod isn't compatible with thrill feeding though, which is pretty much a great mod on its own, so if you use Werebeasts you can use these two together. But this mod pretty much just makes bodies look like you actually fed on them and ate them. I just don't think I can show it on YouTube though. And when I said not compatible with Growl, I just mean that it can work if you just eat humans. But if you try to eat an animal, then that's where your issues will come in. Okay, so we made them a bit stronger. Now we need to find a way to actually get them into Skyrim and maybe make them more unique. And to do that, we just need a simple mod, which is called Diverse Werewolves Collection. Honestly, this mod does have an issue with NPC replacers, which I know a lot of you use, but it does have patches. And also the simple fact that there aren't many werewolves in Skyrim, so it's kinda hard for me to showcase this. But there are a lot of dead werewolves in Skyrim. But this mod does change the companions werewolves as well, so they will look unique when you actually do get to see them. This doesn't make the werewolves itself stronger because Growl perks is already distributed to them and they would become overpowered. So the only thing left to do after this, after adding more diversity, is to make them more prevalent in Skyrim. And we just need a pretty simple mod just to do that. And no, it is not the one that you think. It is not more werewolves because that hand places them. Instead, we're going to use one that uses Spid to randomly select bandits that lets them transform. This mod is called Scourge of the Werewolf. It's a very underrated mod that I have in my mod list. This mod, along with Scourge of the Werebear, depending on the version that you got, it makes it so bandits and Forsworn have a chance to transform into a Werebeast. About 1%, but there's so many of them, you'll probably see it a lot. When this happens, they will turn on their allies though, but that just adds on to an immersion for me, because not every werewolf can control themselves. But if this does bother you, can get another mod by Edmund called Werewolves Among Us. It basically just lets Bandit Chiefs and Briarhearts transform when low health. But you can definitely use these two together if you so choose, just to have double the amount of werewolves, but both have a low chance of about 1%, which you can edit in any file, but for now it is 1%. And I know 1% is pretty rare, that's why you'll barely see Edmondson work, but when you do, it will be immersive. But thing is, that's why you use Scourge of the Werewolf, because that makes it so that any bandit or any Forsworn can also transform, so you're more likely to see it in action. And now you pretty much are set in terms of how many werewolves you will be seeing in your game. I just happen to turn mine up to 100% just so I can showcase it because like I said, 1% is pretty low and it would be pretty hard for me to showcase that. And now since there are more werewolves and they are pretty overpowered, why don't we overhaul the enemy of the werewolves, the Silverhand. And to be honest, Silverhand in the base game are just renamed and re-armored bandits. Actually, they still have the vanilla clothing of bandits, they just have a different name. So now we're going to be overhauling them in a lore friendly way. This mod is called Silverhand Improvements and Additions by Called and Wing. This mod re-armors the Silverhand instead of just normal base leather sets that you see them usually having. Now the Silverhand will have steel plate armor and also scaled armor sets, so they will look pretty overpowered. Not only does it refit the Silverhand, it also reclassifies them, so instead of just being renamed bandits, they will actually be nice to the player. But cautious at the same time. What I mean by nice is that they won't attack you on sight anymore, unless you have started the Companions quest line, so they won't just be robbing pretty much any citizen that walks past. Now we can actually get on to making werewolves scarier, because werewolves at base game look like fluffy kittens, something that you would want to pet. So to fix that, we just need one simple mod, called Skinwalkers by Chukaku. This mod replaces all werewolves in the base game, making them look truly menacing. No longer will they actually look like large puppies, now you'll be horrified to even look at yourself. And considering it's much darker in the actual world of Skyrim, I just wonder what bandits are seeing when they look at you. There are two versions for this mod. There's the Blood Moon, which has blood on your character as soon as you transform. And then there's the Dark Moon version, which removes all blood from your character, which is what I prefer to use since I haven't killed anything yet, but I definitely plan to. And yes, this does work with diverse werewolves. It just replaces the most basic werewolf form, so if they do have the vanilla form, then they will look like you, but if they have a different unique skin, then they will look like that. But after that, the only mod that you need next, just to fully make werewolves actually scary, is by overhauling the sounds. And to do that, we just need one mod. And well, it's kind of a fairly new mod as well. This mod is by Pentapox, called Skoll. This mod really takes those werewolf sounds and brings them to the next level of terrifying. I was already using a Werewolf Overhaul sound before this, but once I heard this one, I had to keep it. This next mod takes us to Whiterun, where we can finally take a look at the companions, and by look at them, I mean finally expand on them. And no, I do not mean just the questline, but instead their werewolf side, with just a simple mod named Werebeasts. This mod makes it so after completing Glory of the Dead, which is pretty much the last questline, if you recruit one of the companions, they will have more options available to them, namely the option to finally transform. You can have it set up to the point where they only transform when you transform, or you can have them transform right now. I'm not sure what the timer is for them to revert, but they will transform and be ready for battle. Of course, you don't want to do this in public because that is usually a crime if you do it, but the installer for this mod does have an option to disable that, so you can freely tell them to transform whenever you want. Only thing the companions are missing now, considering they have overhauled the quest line entirely and can transform freely now. Only thing it's missing is a mod so we can save Scourge. Alright, that was it for today guys. Like I said, I kinda wanted to keep this short and sweet, so let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments. And what mods I might have missed, because I know it is a lot that should have been in this video at least. But make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe for the channel. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace and love guys.